Today is November 14th, end of the growing season. The backyard is pretty much done for growing because we're past the first frost. It looks a little bit like an off-Broadway production of Sanford and Son. But today I want to talk about the Sun Gold tomato. This is probably my favorite thing we grow in our garden. You know, I first discovered about 3 years ago when I was visiting my sister-in-law in Portland, Oregon, Mount Tabor. And Meg was like, you gotta try these, growing them off the back deck. Took one bite. It blew me away. And I started doing research on them, found out, hey, these things are hard to find in grocery stores. You have to really grow them from seed. So I started making that a mission. I was like, I was gonna grow these things. I knew from that first bite. And I started doing some research on the internet, and I found out I wasn't the only one with this obsession.
Now taste it. Oh, it's so sweet. It's not a tomato, as I say. It's not a tomato. It's the best tomato in the world. It tastes like a proper plum should taste.
So, you know, the Sun Golds, as I mentioned, these things are truly delicious. We grew this year, so we basically had about 12 plants this year. And the great thing about them is they're not hard to grow. Like our backyard, we get great sun in the summer. If you get 6 to 8 hours of sun, maybe even a little less, but you know, I'd say 6 is probably appropriate. We get about 5 to 7 hours of intense sun. Growing them mostly in these pots. I'll give you the dimensions and details below, and how we go about growing them. But not hard to grow. You don't need a ton of space, but they're so delicious. These things are the anchor points of like our garden. You know, we do this with fresh kale, green leaf lettuce, and cucumbers we have in the garden. And honestly, we've probably eaten more salad over the last 3 years than I've eaten my whole life, because you know, that's part of the wonderful thing about, you know, gardening and keeping these fresh ingredients near your house and growing yourself. You know that what's going into it, it's all organic, it's healthy, there's not chemicals, it's not processed, it's not going halfway across the country. Look at some of the labels of where you're buying your groceries from, and you may be shocked that you're buying stuff that's 3,000 miles away rather than, you know, 10 feet off of your kitchen. Anyway, these things are, I cannot recommend them highly enough. Don't take my word for it.
Now I'm going to taste it. I cannot believe it. It's not a tomato. It's plum. It tastes like plum.